Ladies and gentlemen, Raiders Nation, buckle up because if there's one thing the silver and black knows how to do, it's build from the trenches, literally and figuratively. Imagine this. It's a crisp October evening in the shadow of the Death Star, Allegiant Stadium, where the ghosts of Al Davis and John Madden still whisper plays into the wind. And just when you think the Raiders are catching their breath after a gritty grind through the AFC West, they drop a move that's pure Raiders rebellion. Signing wide receiver Justin Shorter back to the practice squad. Yeah, you heard that right. Shorter's back in the fold, and folks, this isn't just a roster tweak. It's a spark in the powder keg of Vegas football. What does it mean for a team that's danced with destiny from the frozen fields of Oakland to the neon lights of Sin City? Stick around, because we're diving deep into this one, unpacking the grit, the grind, and the glory that is Raiders football. Let's kick things off with the headlines. Raiders faithful. On Tuesday, October 28th, the Las Vegas Raiders made it official. They've inked wideout Justin Shorter to their practice squad, bringing back a familiar face who's been bouncing around the edges of the roster like a punt returner dodging tacklers. Shorter, the 25-year-old Florida Gator who burst onto the scene as the Buffalo Bills' fifth-round pick back in 2023, snagged at number 150 overall. He's no stranger to the silver and black. After inking that 4-year, $4.2 million rookie deal with Buffalo, a nagging hamstring sidelined him to injured reserve before the season even heated up. Cut in the preseason shuffle last year, he latched onto the Raiders' practice squad, fought his way onto the final 53-man roster this offseason, and now? He's right back where he thrives, hustling on the practice field, ready to pounce if opportunity knocks. Now, let's break it down, because in the NFL, every signing tells a story, and Shorter's is one of resilience that echoes the very soul of this franchise. Picture this kid from Florida, all 6'3" of him, with hands like velvet and speed that turns cornerbacks into statues. He's not flashed the highlight reel grabs just yet, at least not in the stat sheets, but don't sleep on him. In 7 games this 2025 season, Shorter's already notched 3 tackles on special teams, proving he's got that Raider edge, the willingness to block, to grind, to do the dirty work while the cameras chase the stars. And speaking of stars, with Davante Adams lighting up defenses like the Vegas Strip on New Year's Eve, and Jakobi Meyers pulling double duty as the reliable route runner, Shorter's role? It's depth insurance, my friends. In a league where injuries hit harder than a Max Crosby sack, having a guy like Shorter waiting in the wings means the Raiders aren't just surviving the AFC West gauntlet, they're built to brawl through it. But here's where things get really juicy, tactical chess on the gridiron. Head coach Antonio Pierce, that former Raider linebacker with fire in his veins, loves versatility, and Shorter embodies it. Remember last week's thriller against the Chargers? That divisional rivalry that's been spitting venom since the days of the AFL, when the Raiders and those Bolt boys traded haymakers under the autumn lights. The Raiders' special teams unit was the unsung hero, pinning LA deep and flipping field position like a blackjack dealer. Shorter's 3 tackles this year, 2 on kick coverage, 1 sniffing out a fake punt, aren't splashy, but they're the kind of plays that win wars. Pierce has been preaching commitment to excellence since day one, channeling Al Davis's rebel yell from the 70s, when the Raiders ruled with an iron fist and a pirate swagger. Shorter fits that mold, not the prima donna, but the pit bull who clears lanes for the big dogs like Crosby terrorizing quarterbacks or Christian Wilkins clogging the run. Let's zoom out for some historical heat, because Raiders football isn't just about today, it's a tapestry woven from legends. Think back to 1976, when Ken Stabler's snake arm connected with Cliff Branch for that dagger in Super Bowl XI, sealing the first of 3 rings in the dynasty era. Or 1983, Marcus Allen rumbling for 191 yards in Super Bowl XVIII, turning the Redskins' defense into confetti. Wide receivers have always been the spark plugs for this team. Guys like Fred Biletnikoff, with his cigarette-stained fingers snagging impossible balls, or Tim Brown, the Mr. Automatic who piled up 1,000-yard seasons like they were poker chips. Shorter. He's no Biletnikoff yet, but his Gator days, where he hauled in 31 catches for 518 yards and 5 scores in 2022, hint at untapped juice. Compare that to the Raiders' current WR core. Adams leads the league with 85 receptions and 1,200 yards through Week 8, but injuries to Trey Tucker and the depth chart thinning out? Shorter's bounce-back mirrors the team's own journey, from Oakland's black hole frenzy to LA's Hollywood highs and lows, now reborn in Vegas as the anti-establishment kings of the desert. Stats don't lie, Raiders Nation, so let's crunch a few. This season, the Raiders rank 7th in the NFL for special teams efficiency, per Pro Football Focus, thanks in part to hustlers like Shorter. His 3 tackles? That's tied for third on the team in that category, behind only return specialist Dylan Lobby and safety Trayvon Maury. Historically, practice squad call-ups have been gold for the Raiders. Remember how Charles Woodson, the Hall of Fame corner who later became a Raider icon, started his career as an undrafted gem fighting for reps? Or how Jacoby Myers, waived by New England, became a 1,000-yard threat in his Raiders debut year. Shorter's trajectory screams potential. From 0 starts in Buffalo to 7 games here, and if Aiden O'Connell, that poised rookie QB with a gunslinger arm reminiscent of a young Derek Carr, needs a safety valve downfield, Shorter could be the guy. League-wide, 5th-round WRs average just 12.4 catches in their first 2 years, but the outliers? They become legends. Shorter's at 3 tackles now. Imagine him flipping that to 3 touchdowns by December. To bring this alive, let's pretend we're ringside at the Raiders' Henderson practice facility, where the air smells like turf and ambition. I caught up with a fictional scoop. Okay, Raiders fans, bear with me on this one, but it's the kind of quote that gets whispered in the locker room. Head coach Antonio Pierce, pulling no punches after the signing. Justin's got that dog in him, you know? He's been through the cuts, the IR stints, the bounce-arounds, and he comes back swinging. In this division, with Mahomes slinging lasers across the river and Herbert picking us apart like a surgeon, we need every ounce of heart. Shorter. He's all heart, baby. And from Shorter himself, fresh off the ink drying on that practice squad deal, Vegas feels like home now. The energy here, the nation roaring in the Death Star, it's electric. I'm just grinding, learning from Devontae, blocking for Max, whatever it takes. If my number's called, I'll make him remember why Florida took a chance on me. Fans are buzzing too, overheard at a tailgate outside Allegiant. Shorter's our secret weapon, says lifelong Raider diehard Maria Gonzalez, waving her pirate flag. Like when Bo Jackson bulldozed linebackers back in '87, underrated until boom, explosion. Now, let's gaze into the crystal ball, because with the Raiders sitting at 4-4 and staring down a gauntlet that includes a revenge rematch with the Chiefs, those Arrowhead archrivals who've owned the West like a monopoly since 2018, this signing could be the tipping point. Playoff implications? Huge. The AFC West is a bloodbath. Kansas City's 7-1, Denver's nipping at heels with rookie QB buzz, San Diego's. Well, they're the Chargers, forever the punchline with their curse of futility. But the Raiders? With Shorter bolstering depth, O'Connell's completion percentage climbs to 65% on third downs, and the run game, thanks to Zamir White's 4.8 yards per carry, stays fresh. Expert take from our fictional analyst, ex-Raider Howie Long. Mark my words, if Shorter sees 5 snaps a game on offense, he posts 25 catches by season's end. This team's got that just win, baby DNA. Watch him snag a wild card and crash the playoffs like they did in 2000 under Gruden. Draft Ripple? If they hover at 5-12, it's a top 10 pick. But with this grit, 9-8 feels real, flipping the script on a rebuild that's felt like a rerun since John Gruden's Tuck Rule rant. And tying it all together, folks, because Raiders lore isn't just stats, it's soul. This move nods to the pop culture pulse of the team. Remember when the Raiders inspired the Black Hole in that 90s rap battle between Tupac and Biggie? Or how Raiders of the Lost Ark had Harrison Ford dodging boulders like a Jim Plunkett scramble. Shorter's story fits right in, the underdog rising from the depths, much like the franchise that fled Oakland amid heartbreak, conquered LA with swagger, and now owns Vegas with unapologetic flair. In a world of cookie-cutter teams, the Raiders are the outlaws, the ones who tattoo commitment to excellence on their hearts and backs. So, Raiders Nation, as the sun sets on another practice in the desert, raise your silver chalices to Justin Shorter, the latest chapter in this epic saga. Tune in Sunday when the Silver and Black host the Broncos in a rivalry older than most of your mortgages. It's primetime under the lights, and who knows? Shorter might just block the game-sealing punt or haul in the walk-off grab. Follow along on Raiders.com, catch the highlights on NFL Network, and remember, in the words of the late, great Al Davis, the fire is still burning. Just win, baby. This is your anchor, signing off from the heartbeat of football. Go Raiders!